You're watching The Art of Save Scumming. Thank you for tuning in, and today we're taking a look at the new Ogre rework that came with Omens of Destruction, and specifically we're in a Golg campaign here. And in my opinion, the Golg Maneater campaign and the mechanics are one of the best things that CA has done in this game yet. So there are lots of really awesome things that they have done and some not so great things that they've done, but Golg, I really like this, and I'm very interested to see how similar campaign mechanics are integrated into the Dogs of War that we are expected to get later down the line. So I will say first off, before we actually get into the rework and how everything works and what I think could be changed a little bit and what should stay the same, I would say that this campaign plays very much thematically in a mercenary campaign. You feel like you are a mercenary campaign, loyal to no one, and just trying to get as much money as you possibly can. And I really like this campaign. Now, as far as how the campaign mechanics work, the settlements are kind of the same. They've shifted some buildings around, stuff like that, but still only tier 3. Ports are sort of valuable to you, but outside of growth and money, they do at least provide a decent quantity of income. So it would be worth it to have a couple settlements out there, a couple provinces that have been consolidated, but it's not really necessary to hold territory with Golg's campaign. As far as the camps are concerned, the ability to now move the camp with this button here is big, because in my opinion, when I would play an Ogre campaign, I felt like the sites of the camps would become rapidly irrelevant. So right here, this camp, I'm probably ready to move this camp like a while ago, actually, because I'm probably not going to do much fighting in this area after I can finish this contract here against Norska. I probably won't be up here again. I'll probably move somewhere else on the map because I don't really need this camp here. It's not really providing much benefit. The growth is already gone to the maximum. I don't really need that anymore. I'm basically done with this, building up this province, and I'm also basically done building up the buildings within the camp as well. And I've got a full beefy garrison in there. So I really like the ability to move these, but the problem that I have comes with the new transfer mechanic. So if we look in here, if we go to here, I've got an army right here. This is the meat transfer mechanic, and I think that this is fantastic. It allows me to move the meat. And you can see there, once you reach the threshold, it tells you where you're going to start taking penalties for moving too much meat as far as the upkeep is concerned. So I think this is really well integrated. However, we end up with a situation where I've got all the buildings built. They are built exclusively with meat. But this number will continue to increase every turn, and I can't get this meat out of here. So there's no way to do anything with this. This becomes 1,800 ever increasing every turn, wasted meat that I can't really do anything with. And there's no way to get it out of here. There's no way to move it to a different camp. There's no way to transfer it to an army. There's nothing. So this literally becomes a wasted resource. And I can see this being a balance for the people who want to expand these camps rapidly. So you end up with this massive surplus of meat that just builds every turn, and there's nothing that you can do with it. And that is your penalty for rapidly boosting these buildings all the way up by transferring it out of your armies. I could see that being a balance, but I think what it ends up being is a little bit more punishing than it really needs to be, because I would like to be able to move this out of here and use it for some other purpose. I could open up another camp somewhere and immediately do some good work with this. So what I would say is, what I would like to see them do is open up the transfer mechanic. Right now, that's the wrong. Yeah, here we are. What I would like to do like to see CA do is open up the transfer mechanics so it's no longer just from army to camp. It would be nice if we could go from either camp to army or camp to camp. And you could even make that really expensive. I'd be willing to, like, if I move, let's say I want to move, I don't know. Yeah, okay. So it currently costs 2 gold per meat. I'd be willing to pay 3 or 5 times as much to just get this 1,800 out of here, even if I had to do it over a course of several turns, because I'm basically wasting this. It's doing nothing. Now, it is maintaining some of the stuff as it relates to these armies, and there are some things that I need it for, but other than those baseline things, that I definitely don't need 1,859, and it's going to be higher next turn. I don't need that much in here. I guess having it on hand to shift the buildings around might be somewhat valuable, but other than that, there's no way to spend it. So I would say move that. Now, the other thing that I kind of don't like that they got rid of is I really like the ability to build your own garrison. Many of the other Total War games, I like Medieval 2, for instance, is a really good example, allow you to build your own garrison, and then you can select your retinue and then move it out. I really liked the ability to do that, and it doesn't need to be like that for every faction. Like, I appreciate that this settlement here just comes with a garrison. And it's less micromanagement that I have to do every turn, and it is... it streamlines the game a little bit. I understand the arguments against that and being able to build your own garrisons. I understand those, but I think it works in this game really well to have static garrisons. They can be added onto by adding buildings and things like that. I like that. But if we're going to have the ability to add our own garrison units in here, give us the ability back to move the units out. Because I really like being able to add a massive garrison in here and make this spot super defensible, but I might spend all of this gold to put all these guys in here, and then basically the only way to change this garrison is to disband the units and recruit new ones. So that, again, is more of a wasted resource. So I've wasted gold if I have to do that. Whereas if I could just transfer them from, like, this army to this army, then that would eliminate that problem as well. So I would like to see that reverted to the way that it was before. So I really like the changes that they've made to the ogres, and I think that the ogres are substantially more playable now, particularly Golg's faction. I really, really like the way that this thing plays. Small tweaks, and I think that they are good to go. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below, because that kind of discussion is the type of thing that ultimately moves the needle on getting some of these changes implemented. So thank you guys for tuning in, listening, and giving your feedback in the comments down below.